This is Airguns Raider, a hip shot. Today, guys, we are gonna work on part 2 of this Roni build for this TIPX by TIppmann. Guys, in this video, we go over what I've been doing to get to this point, what I have to do to further the build. And pretty much that's gonna be what this video is. So check it out, guys. Guys, get yourself a cup of coffee. I don't have a cup this morning right now, but you guys get you a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage and meet myself and Hip Shot on the other side. Okay, so the battery box has been removed. So now I have a clearer picture as to how to lay this out. So in looking at my options in terms of trying to fit this gun in, I'm gonna have to cut out some of the other elements, like this post here. You know, these are posts that keep the body together, but you don't want to cut out too many of those because you still want the screws to be around the areas that are needed to keep the gun together. You have to be aware of that, but you got to remove some of this stuff in the middle, in the center. Okay, I've determined that in order to get the area I need to start, I'm going to try to cut this out first. That's the least amount that I can cut without having it affect the area that I need, which is at the top. Okay, guys, so I'm going to be using a Dremel kit to do the cutting where I can reach some of the work. So when I do here, up here, and then up here. So I use a hot knife to cut the areas that I can't reach so that I can get the pattern correct. It's also easier at times. So it's just a knife. Eat it. Okay, so far, these are the areas that I had to cut in order to use this thing. Possibly, I may have to do a little more cutting of that, but I'm not sure just yet. And so what happens if you overcut, guys, or you cut in areas that you're not thinking of, like this part right here, I messed up. I should have left it the way it was. But, you know, I plan on probably painting those areas to make it look good or whatever, but that's what I had to remove. This is the area and the sections here. So we'll go check it with the gun and see if it's working where the trigger comes through. Okay, guys, so we have the two halves cut on the outside. That will also help you to work on the inside to figure out what you want to do. So, like, you know, I might come back in with the Dremel once I get done and maybe round off these edges a little bit. These are different from each side because I wanted to add a little lip on this side, just for a little style. This one here had to be functioning because that's the side, I believe. Yeah, that's the side that I'm a right-hander guy, so I have to, you know, modify it so that the trigger is in this area. So now the hard part comes where you got to fit it inside the gun, and you have to determine what has to go and what has to stay in order to fit the gun in. And once you do that, you close it up and you see if it's gonna fit, and then you see how secure it is, and you know that it lines up. So that's coming. Okay guys, so with this build already, I can see some changes that I need to make, because I'm not going to be able to have proper fitment for the use of it. So I'm already going to have to cut up into here. I want this to be a facade. I like that white, but I'm going to have to cut some of it somewhere around in here, because the gun has to go in, push in and go in order for me to lock it and also have use of it when I want to pull it out for easy access. So these are the adjustments that have to be made, you know, as you go along. So you do it and you learn. Okay guys, so now we're closer to the Roni shape. This part here had to be eliminated. I thought maybe it was something I could do, but I had to do that. And also I know I had to trim down the bottom of this, because this was lipped, this part right here, and it was going to prevent the gun from being able to go up in there. And so I've also, you know, just kind of, as you think as you go, because so I had a post right here, and I had an edge right here. Might should have kept the edge, I'm not sure, but there was an edge on the other side. So some of this stuff still will be trimmed. I got to trim in to get the gun to fit to close. So I know I have a lot of stuff up in this area to cut. I still want to see if I can't maintain that, and you'll see in the end why, but I know some of this has to go. Okay guys, so now I know I'm close now. See, that fits in the pocket, so there's no obstruction. But if you turn it around, there is obstruction that's up in here. So now I have to figure out what to carve out and what not to carve out in order for it to drop down. Okay guys, so in order to get this thing to fit, I'm gonna have to eliminate this area right here, and then that should do it. That should do it. Okay guys, so now we have one side that perfectly fits, and we have to work on the other one because there's some things that are blocking it from coming together. So it's coming along. Okay guys, so this is what the final both halves look like. That's what I ended up having to get with the design. I had to cut out a lot of different things, but one of the things I'll tell you about Nerf products, guys, is that the plastic that they use is really durable, flexible, and it's very good. So you don't have to worry about it breaking as you're cutting. Okay guys, so this is the final fitment. This is what I have here. So it didn't turn out too bad, guys. Got a little, not much of it, but a little bit of gap that should be taken care of when I put the dot on there and cinch it together. Little borrows here and there. So what I have to do is go and clean that up now, those edges, and maybe sand them and whatnot and clean it up, and then maybe paint it, and then we'll start doing the other stuff. So that's where we are right now. So essentially, guys, that's it right there. So it functions pretty nicely. I've got some details to do. I've got a pin to put in it, and then I've got to do some sanding, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and paint it out full on, and I'll be done. Put the accessories on it, and I can use it. So on here, guys, I added a pick rail so that I can put a torch on it, and the buttstock. The buttstock works really well. It just so happened that it had the backing for that, which I knew when I ordered it. in order for it to work. So that's the stock that's folded now on it. So that works out pretty good. It's a pretty little solid stock. 20 bucks. Okay guys, so that's gonna be it on this today. The build went well. It's just, you know, you don't know what it's gonna look like until you start messing around with it and doing the things you need to do to get it where it's going. So I still have to put in the quick released pin, and it's pretty stable, solid in there right now. But I'll put that in, and that'll be it. I'll have to sand this up now, get the rough edges off of it, and then I think I'm going to paint it, guys, because I don't like all the little bits and barbels that's left over. So when the next video, we'll sand and start sanding, painting it. Guys, see you guys in the next video. Shot and I, we are out. Okay guys, so returning to my build, I realized that there's other things that I could possibly do. Don't know if this is going to work out, but one of the things is that, remember I told you, no matter what you do when you do these builds, do not toss extra parts that you cut off away. Just keep them in a bag. I don't care if you just cut the section out or whatnot, because you may be able to utilize other parts. So in this case, guys, I realized that I have a spare mag with the TIPX, and you know, I'm like, okay, well, since I'm creating a Roni, you know, it may be possible that I can also have my spare mag added to this. Now, I made a mistake because I didn't think that way. You know, when you plan it out, you should, you know, I drew the stuff out, but I didn't plan it out. So I actually should not have cut this handle off, but hopefully I can hollow it out and somehow fit it in and it will still work. So that's what my attempts are going to be. It may not happen, but it may. So stay tuned. So even further playing with this thing, you know, there may even be another option. You know, it's hard to say, guys. So yeah, we'll see how this build continues.